Hey guys, it's Troy. Welcome back to London and welcome to the second exclusive video in the series of 3 videos that I'm making in the run-up to the launch or the relaunch of Charisma and Dating Academy, which opens for its Q3 enrollment period on August the 7th until August the 11th. So there's 5 days in August when you can enroll as a new student in the program. So listen, just to recap a little bit, who am I? Why should you listen to me? Well, I'm Troy Francis. I'm a dating coach and a writer. You might know me from the stuff that I used to write for Return of Kings. You might know me from Rule Zero. You might know me from the work that I've done with John of Modern Life Dating, particularly on his Body Language Mastery course. You might know me from the stuff that I've done with Tom Torero. And you might even know me from my own books, my own videos on my YouTube channel, my blog, etc., etc., etc. So look, what experience have I got in this particular field? Well, I've been in the game since 2005. And the reason that I got into the game at that point was because of the book, The Game by Neil Strauss, which brought to life the whole underground sort of subculture of dating experts like Mystery and Tyler Durden or Owen Cook of RSD, etc., etc., etc. Now that book was a big inspiration on me, as it was on many people, because it kind of brought the whole thing from underground into semi-mainstream, if you like. And at that point, I got into game in a very structured way. I was a member of a big forum here in London. I used to swap notes with people. I'd submit regular reports, field reports, lay reports, etc., etc. I was out the whole time hitting it hard, day game, night game, whatever else, okay? But the point is, even before that, for at least a decade before that, I was also still out and about in the clubs, approaching girls, getting rejections, getting successes, having loads of crazy adventures in a pretty, I'm going to say addictive kind of a way, really, because I've got quite an addictive personality, and whatever I do very compulsively. So even before 2005, when I started to get into this stuff in a more disciplined way, I was still into it. And since about 2014, when I started to write for Return of Kings, I've also been creating content about this stuff, and I've also been teaching guys as well. So I started my own website. I've written at least 11 books on dating, game, the sexual marketplace, etc. And I also do consultations. So I train guys live in the field, and I also do work with guys over Skype as well. So what that means is that over the years, not only have I been immersed in the practice of game, in the practice of dating skills, but also I've taught many, many other guys. And aside from that, I've also winged, that is to say, been out and gamed with some of the greatest players in the world. So there's a lot of experience there, let's just say that. And what I did earlier this year was I put together this course, Charisma and Dating Academy, because what I really wanted to do was to make an easily digestible course or an easily digestible program that would teach other guys exactly the mindset techniques that I used in order to become successful in this area. Because it's all very well to learn techniques, it's all very well to learn theory, but the thing that really makes the difference, the thing that will really change your life, is the mindset stuff. And that's precisely what I teach in the course. Now, I want to give you just a little example of one of the techniques that I teach, because we go very deep into a lot of this stuff, you know, how you can become that guy, how you can become that natural kind of a dude who just is kind of like used to getting success, and he doesn't have to even really give it a second thought, all right? And people will often say, well, listen, you know, I get the whole thing about the bad boy archetype. I get the whole thing about the dark triad archetype. I understand that that is attractive, but I don't think that it can apply to me because I'm just not that kind of guy. You know, I'm kind of a nice guy. I'm not that sort of dude. So how can I take on that role? How can I become like that? And one of the techniques, we go into this in massive detail in the course, but one of the techniques that I teach is based on an acting technique by the Russian professor of acting, Stanislavski. Now, Stanislavski was one of the key influences, really, of the school of method acting. So if we think now about people like Robert De Niro, Pacino, etc., etc., all of these guys were method actors, if you like, and what that discipline goes back to, which is really immersing oneself in the character, becoming the character, it goes back to the teachings of Stanislavski, okay, who was a Muscovite acting teacher and producer, etc. And what he said, the way that he taught students to get into character was like this. He talked about a concept called the magic if. And the magic if was basically to use the phrase as if. So say that you wanted to be really, really brave. It's like, okay, imagine myself as if I was really, really brave. And then do those actions. So another example might be, supposing that you are very intimidated by approaching somebody that you don't know for the first time. Well, the Stanislavskian technique is to imagine that you are that guy who has no fear of approaching. And just for that brief moment, that few minutes, or even that evening if you go out to a nightclub or something like that, you just behave as if you are that guy, okay? You're taking on the role, but you're not pretending to be someone else. You're being yourself, in inverted commas, but you are also playing a role. You're playing a role which is a part of you because you've got it in you. It's just that you don't normally access it. So this technique, this tool, this magic if, enables you to access parts of yourself that are there, but they're submerged because of social conditioning, because of shyness, because of inhibitions of other kinds, all right? So a lot of the time what I do is if I'm in a situation where I'm nervous or things seem difficult or I'm kind of apprehensive about how I have to behave, I will think in my head, right, for this instance, for this situation, I'm going to act as if I am this guy. And this guy might be Chad, or it might be some named player that you know, or it might be, you could even imagine what, say, I'm going to do, or what John MLD is going to do, or what Myron Gaines is going to do. Act as if you were that guy, and then take the actions. And you will find that this technique really, really frees you up to behave in ways that perhaps you wouldn't always be so comfortable behaving in if you didn't use it. It's incredibly powerful stuff. We go into this in great detail within the course and within the webinars, and there are also a whole host of other techniques of this kind to really help you to get out of your head and get into the new character that you're going to inhabit when you have taken the program, all right? So, Charisma and Dating Academy, 7th of August to the 11th of August, it's open for enrollments. You get that 5-day period, and after that, when we reopen again, the price will go up. So the price that you get it for at the moment is going to be the lowest price that you'll ever get it for again. If you like, you get the 10-hour video course with comprehensive notes. You also get access to the Telegram chat and the private Facebook group. And you also get access to all of the 10 live webinars. Now, last time we brought in some great guests. We had John from Modern Life Dating, we had Myron Gaines, etc. So this time we'll be sure to do the same. And the live teaching is really where this comes to life, because I work with you individually as part of the group, but individually as well. And we really break down where you're at and help you, in fact, demand that you undergo the transformation that Charisma and Dating Academy will take you through. That's it from me for now. Do drop me a message if you've got any questions, or look out for the next video in this series in the next day or so. Bye-bye.